One question that people often ask is how can I improve my photography? Sure, having the better gear or knowing all the techniques and settings is important, but there is one thing that's even more crucial. It's something without which your photos will always look the same. Think of it like this. If I and Sol Leiter, we were at the exact same location at the exact same time, shooting the same scene with the same camera, our photos would probably still look different. And let's face it, Sol's would probably look better. I used to wonder why that was, but now I think I understand. It's all about how we read the environment. I often get bored scrolling through Instagram seeing the same 85mm shots taken from odd angles with a blurry background. I know they are essential in someone's photographic journey, I know because I have done it myself as well. However, they are often the result of imitation. While imitation is a valuable tool for learning, we need to move past it. We need to start reading the environment in greater depth in order to get more interesting and unique compositions. We need to break the habit of seeking the easy shot. I'm an advocate of wider focal length, not because they are producing better photos, but because they require more work with composition. We need to identify the good spot, the good light, the good story, and then shoot it in a split second, because out in the streets, moments are fleeting and we still need to get a photo that makes sense. Street photography is quick and dynamic once you've trained your eye to see all the intriguing elements. But to do that, first, you need to take your time. If you are enjoying this video so far, hit the like button and consider subscribing with the bell. Now I want to share with you an exercise that I did and I still do to train myself step by step to get better compositions. First, leave your house. Assuming you've done that, roam around and try to find a location that has potential as a good background. Try to find 4 spots that have good light that create contrast. Optimally, you want the light to create an outline of highlights and shadows that will help you with framing. Once you have found a good location with a good light, you are ready to move to step number 2. Second, if you have a nice colorful wall in your background, consider photographing it flat. Use initially the rules of photography, such as the rule of thirds, just to get you started. You can use foreground elements to add depth to your image even if you're shooting against a set background. You can use reflections and dynamic angles, but it is good if you start simply. A clean frame is usually more impactful. Third, when you have decided on your set, pre-visualize your shot. Think about where you want your subjects to be in the frame. You can use the rule of thirds as we discussed earlier, but it's also good to break the rules and create unexpected shots. What makes a good photo is often the element of surprise. Keep an eye out for weird things that come towards your frame, because if they surprise you, chances are that they will surprise your viewers too. Fourth, give context to your image. A single shot of someone with a blurred background doesn't give your viewers much to observe. You want people to spend time with your creation, observe it, and try to understand it. What makes a good composition is not a superficial impression that lasts a few seconds, but an emotional reaction that comes when someone takes time to understand your image and find a piece of themselves in it. Make sure that all the elements you incorporate in your image are intentional and serve a purpose. And the same applies to the colors. So fifth, consider using complementary colors between your subjects and the background to create a more cohesive and natural look. You can also try to combine elements with similar colors in your photos to show intentionality and give your images a more harmonious look. This technique is often used in street photography and it can be very effective when it is used intentionally. It can help your subject stand out and be a more integral part of your images. Sixth, consider taking a few test shots with yourself as the subject. Don't hesitate to use a tripod on the street. Experiment by placing yourself in different spots within the frame to see what works best. This exercise can help you identify elements that don't work well in the image. Additionally, you can take test shots with strangers passing through your frame to further refine your composition. Finally, when you are satisfied with your composition, go ahead and take the shot. Do not hesitate to take multiple photos of a certain scene to make sure that you capture the moment perfectly. Keep practicing this exercise in various locations and challenge yourself to think outside of the box. Figure out how most people would shoot a certain scene and then try to do something different. By doing this, you will not only improve your photographic composition, but you will develop your own unique creative voice. A good example can be found in Magnum's contact sheets, and I'm talking of course about this André Cartier-Bresson famous photograph taken in Seville in 1933. Here I imagine André first observing this broken wall and all the kids running around and then starting to work with it. Indeed, if you go through the contact sheets, you will observe a number of shots of the same composition. Some are taken in landscape orientation and some vertical. In some he includes additional elements of the environment, and in others he crops in a bit. In all of them, he's working with the movement and the energy of the kids until he gets these 1 or 2 frames that are working really well. You can see them here circled in white. Now a simpler example from my most recent work. I stumbled upon this bluish wall with some brown features on the side, creating nice color contrast. Also, the direction of the intense light was adding shadows and extra interest to the image. So I had a really nice background. The only thing I needed was someone interesting to pass. Eventually, a woman pushing a baby stroller passed, and the stroller was silhouetted in the shadows while she was lit nicely by the light of the scene. So it was simple, nice colors, nice light, and an interesting way to present your subject. Here are 3 examples along with an explanation of how it was captured out in the streets. For the first, I utilized the intense light coming from behind the buildings, which cast shadows and created a captivating light pocket. This not only added depth but also gave the scene a sense of direction. Within this light pocket, I photographed a man dressed in neutral colors, which helped achieve a harmonious, balanced look. The second example is quite similar, but this time my main subject, a girl wearing white headphones and bright brown boots, was perfectly illuminated by the intense sunlight as she stepped into the light pocket. The third example is one I particularly love. I discovered a simple background that framed the scene with light, adding some interesting shapes on the right side. The strong light from the background created striking silhouettes of the people walking in front of it. That was only the beginning of a very interesting series exploring composition in photography. We will be going in greater depths in the next videos, and I will be answering your questions one by one in the next videos. Also, if you would like to share your own tips and tricks and things you want to discuss in future similar videos, let them down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button down below and consider subscribing with the bell. That was all for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I will see you on the streets. Bye bye.